blatantly. Why? It doesn't matter. Get out of it. Adam's shy. So at one point, your shyness was going to lead you to wearing 2 shirts. Half asleep watching from Sydney, Australia. Good day, mate. I can talk. We can't be. There's 14 seconds on the clock. Pardon? Wrap it up. Okay, less of the jibber jabber. Over to proper commentary. Go away.
And as we start 1/8 final B, we have a developing story in that the pole box was left empty. Now, is that a start from the pit lane? Doesn't appear to be. A lot of crew heading back over there. But the rest of the field are underway. The field in question include Oscar Ingrid, who was our pole sitter, who didn't appear to have started, Yael Zurfler, David Benito, Nuno Ferreira, Alberto Pelias, Vare Garcia Caldueno, Stefan Matteo, Bruno Costa, and then our transfers from the last round, Matthias Chaffardon, Graham Miller, Joel Suarez, and Manuel Prades. So as they complete the opening lap, as they run after the opening lap, it is Benito, Garcia Caldueno, and then Graham Miller has moved up to third. So finally the luck of the Brits might be starting to change here. I say that very tentatively. And Stefan Matteo is up in fourth in car 7, the orange and white car. Just ahead of, well, he was just ahead of Joel Suarez, and then Suarez got involved in an almighty bundle with a lot of cars all scattering into each other and going in all sorts of directions. So we follow Stefan Matteo, car 7, through the 1/8 final B. Garcia Caldueno is also up to second spot. And a bit of contact there as well. It is now, the positions are changing pretty drastically lap after lap, so it's Nuno Ferreira, who's now showing as fourth, back up to fourth in car 4. And so let's see if we can find Ferreira. Car 4, yeah. And it's indeed found car 4. Nuno Ferreira, car 4, is fourth. And Joel Suarez, car 11, is fifth. So the pink and blue car 11, is your fifth place runner. And the car just in front of it, the all yellow car 4, is fourth. Nuno Ferreira, David Benito, Graham Miller, and Vare Garcia Caldueno are your top 3. And actually Caldueno is under a little bit of pressure from Ferreira now. Ferreira trying to advance up and trying to put a car between himself and Suarez, because Suarez is coming very, very fast here. Chasing him down, all 3 of them within a straight. And in the end it's flips for both Suarez and for Caldueno. So Caldueno got lucky there, he flipped out of third, but avoided falling out of the top 4 altogether. So we now have Ferreira and Garcia Caldueno as your fourth and fifth place run, your third and fourth place runners, I should say. And they might be second and third place runners here, because car 10 of Graham Miller has just flipped there. So Miller now down to fourth. Miller's still in an okay spot, has to be said. He's not in too bad a position, but these are second, third, fourth, all in the same frame. David Benito has bolted somewhat, and Suarez is still fifth. But a big wreck on the back straight. Suarez has fallen away, and Miller seems to have had an issue. No, Miller's back up to third now. Miller's moved past Caldueno, so Miller battling back. He was up in second, now down to fourth, now back up to third. The topsy-turvy run meanwhile behind Alberto Pelias has moved past Joel Suarez. So Suarez looking for that double bump up. He's going to have a lot of opposition in doing so. Down the back straight they go. Garcia Caldueno, the seniors class, flying around the granite hairpin. Coming down the front straight once more. We are just about coming up on 5 minutes into this race. The first quarter almost done. With Nuno Ferreira now up to second place. Benito has checked out on the field to the tune of about 6 seconds. And it's Miller and Garcia Caldueno who are showing on the screen right now We're in a battle for third and fourth, the final transfer spots. And fifth place is Alberto Peleas. Peleas is about a corner or two behind these guys. Oh, but a flip there. That's a flip for Graham Miller. An agonisingly long recovery, no real fault of anyone there. Just in a bad position there. He straight away makes the repass on Yale Zurfler. But Graham Miller has still fallen to sixth in amongst all that. He's now behind Suarez, who's now to fifth spot. But Alberto Peleas has inherited the fourth spot. And now car 5. We have a car upside down. We have Peleas stuck on the barrier. It's all going on. It's another one of those races where no one wants to be fourth. So, let's have a look here. Yeah, Suarez, I think he's now up to fourth, ahead of Peleas. I think Peleas may have fallen behind Graham Miller as well. Miller now looking for the position on Suarez. They go side by side into the hairpin. They're really battling hard. Miller with a big power slide. How do they come across the line that time? It is Suarez scored fourth. Miller scored fifth. Alberto Peleas sixth. So what we're seeing on the screen here is fourth, fifth. Well, was sixth. But now has badly faded away. And Peleas got himself all tangled up there. Barriers are his nemesis. But now Graham Miller is hunting down Joel Suarez to get back into the transfer spots. Ferreira and Garcia Calduno have a little bit of breathing room now bought for themselves. So now it is between Suarez and Miller, and this battle is head to head. Miller makes the pass, gets a better run down the back straight, over the jumps, gets more momentum, he gets the pass done. Suarez doesn't quite have the car speed of these guys, I think. But Miller's pitting. Miller is pitting after 6 minutes or so. So that's an early stop. That's got to be a 2-stop run for Miller. He's back out again. This is going to be an interesting one because Suarez has stayed out. Suarez is just coming up onto the F. He's coming into the S section just before the F tabletop. Now he's on the tabletop itself. And Suarez is now your fourth place runner. Bearing in mind, he likely has a pit stop to make as well. But when? We have very little idea. We've seen very varying strategies. Many varied ways around this track and many varied ways around the pit stop conundrum. So we'll see how that shuffles out. But Suarez is definitely, provably, the fourth place runner right now. And Benito, Ferreira and Garcia Calduno are your top three. They're all just okay right now. It's Suarez that we're paying attention to right here. Suarez, who is the fourth place runner. Suarez, who is just ahead of Matthias Chaffardon, who's coming in, who's another guy looking for a double transfer. And Chaffardon is actually closing in. Chaffardon was very, very good in the 1/16 final. So he was very strong there. So now Chaffardon is hunting down Suarez at quite a rate of knots. Graham Miller is trying to come along for the ride as well. And I think Garcia Calduno just had a pit stop. He's just come up behind Miller. Oh, with a bit of a scrap. Chaffardon went for the position there on Suarez. Oh, he makes a nice pass there. Chaffardon never has the pace. He cuts up the inside of the effort tabletop. Finally gets it done at the third time of asking. Good pass, but it's put him offline for the back straight. Will that affect his run? No, he does it very, very well. So Chaffardon now up into, I think, in the fourth spot. He is actually up in third spot. Suarez fourth, Miller fifth. So I think it was a pit stop for Garcia Calduno, who's put him out of the transfer spots for now. But it's Chaffardon third now. Fourth is Suarez. And fifth is Graham Miller, still on the outside looking in. Remember, he had that pit stop a little while ago. He's going a different route with this. Different route with his strategy. See if it can pay off. But in the meantime, it's all about raw pace. So now Suarez is under pressure from someone else. And he loses another position to someone else. So he's lost fourth again. But he may get it back in short order. Because Chaffardon had an incident at the granite hairpin. And Suarez somehow manages to keep fourth by the skin of his teeth. Graham Miller's made it through. And now Matthias Chaffardon's in contact with Suarez. Suarez now knocked offline. He's on the barrier. Lost some time there. That should promote Chaffardon back to fourth spot. A little bit of contact in the mix. Got physical. Garcia Calduno is also in there as well. Coming back from his pit stop. Who's whatever hindered his advance earlier. So now we are watching Graham Miller, who should come round to be scored, the 4th place runner this time. It's Chaffardon and Miller, 3rd and 4th, with Suarez in 5th. Suarez actually 6th behind Garcia Calduino, who's right behind Chaffardon. And Alberto Pelias in 7th is also keeping tabs on this as well, so there's a lot that can still change here. This is high pressure, high intensity racing. Exactly how we like it at the 1/8B European Championships for Nitro Buggies. Oh, but a big flip at the end of the straight for Chaffardon. He's in all sorts of trouble. He's stuck up against the barrier. That will not be a quick recovery. He even got snagged on the barrier as well. So now Chaffardon falls out of the top 4, and he's all over the place. Has he got broken steering maybe? Car looks all sorts of damaged. Correction, that was car 8 of Bruno Costa. So 4th place right now is scored as Nuno Ferreira in car 4. So he's had a topsy-turvy race, but he's back to 4th again. So I think they're coming through the granite hairpin now. I see Miller coming through that corner. I see car 3 coming through. No, Miller's scored as the leader actually. Benito is 2nd, so that's what your 1 and 2. We are looking for car 4. Car 6 is Garcia Calduino. That's 3rd. The car immediately behind Garcia Calduino is your 4th place car. Nuno Ferreira, the bright yellowy green car. And he's battling for 3rd. He looks for 3rd, but he's also acutely aware that just behind him are the guys that could take away his final transfer spot. But a flip for Garcia Calduino now. And no one. Oh my goodness me. And then some contact for car 8 as well. And it's just difficult. There are certain elements of this track where it just takes that little bit longer for marshals to try and recover. Really puts them in a tough spot. So, car 4 of Nuno Ferreira is now scored 4th. So Nuno Ferreira scored 4th right in front of us here. And he's battling with car 5, Alberto Pelias, for 3rd spot. Pelias has snuck his way up into 3rd. Chaffardon is still 5th somehow. You can't quite believe what's going on. This has been an utterly topsy-turvy 1/8B final. As the lower finals click on at a rapid pace. Head on towards our main final at 4:30 local time. That'll be in about approximately 4 hours' time. Will any of these guys be there? They've got a lot of work still to do in this race to get there first. As Ferreira continues in 4th. Right now we have Graham Miller and, well, just Graham Miller who's in a position to do the double bump up. Chaffardon is trying to be the other guy to do so, but he has got to pass. He's got to pass Graham Miller by the look of it. I think Miller's fallen back. Could this be the 2nd pit stop that he had to take, maybe? Not entirely sure. We are following at the top of the hill Pelias and Pereira, who should come round to be 2nd and 3rd now. So if that's the case, we'll drop back 1 car to Graham Miller, who will be the new 4th place car. We'll come across the line. Yep, Pereira 4th, Pereira 2nd, Pelias 3rd. Graham Miller is 4th. So Miller in the blue into yellow car 10. He's your 4th place runner now, and he's having to fend off the attentions of Chaffardon. It's like a rerun of the lead battle for the 1/16B final. It was between these two for large parts of it, but now it's even more significant than ever because this literally is the battle as to who progresses in this tournament and who goes home early. Who starts packing up to leave earlier than potentially anticipated. Graham Miller looking to extend his event, looking to extend his championship. Chaffardon looking a little bit nervy, a little bit tentative on the turn in. They are working so hard out there. Really, really warm conditions here. The track now is starting to resemble what it did yesterday. Dry, abrasive, breaking up, rugged, real tough challenge. But Miller is looking solid, and he's actually looking on the back of Nuno Ferreira for a pass as Pelias has made it up to 2nd now. And David Benito is about 5 seconds up the road in the lead. So Benito is trying to make this one as smooth as possible. Ferreira and Miller now battling for 4th spot. Some pit stops going on here. That's car 5 and 4 and 3 all in at around the same time. So car 5 was Alberto Pelias, 4 was Ferreira. and 3 was David Benito. So this may put Miller up into the lead now. We will see how they cycle around in just a second. Let's follow car for Ferreira now, or I think he'll either be 4th or 5th once this shakes out. We'll have to pay attention here, although Ferreira is now stuck up against the inside bollard there. It's going to cost him time. He does not need to cost himself. Let's keep an eye as they come around the timing screen this time. Benito snagged on the inside wall. But it is Graham Miller leading. Mateus Chafradon up to 2nd place. 3rd is David Benito. And 4th place is Alberto Pelias. He's just coming down in front of us, in front of the TKR triples. And he's now in the middle section of the track. The red into white into green car with the yellow wheels right in front of us in the S section. There's the car that's been scored 4th right now. He's just ahead of Nuno Ferreira. But bearing in mind, do Graham Miller and Mateus Chafradon still have to make additional stops? That is the question. As Pereira looking for the move on, I think that is David Benito, the erstwhile leader of this race for long stretches of it. Comes around the final corner and down the main straight once more. Pelias looking for that position. Oh, and he's going to get the position, but they all start tangled up. This is going to play right into Ferreira's hands. This brings Ferreira right back into play. Ferreira with the big slide. Ferreira now right back into the battle. The battle for 3rd has suddenly become a 3-way battle for the final transfer spot. This is so close. Pelias, Benito, and Ferreira. Nose to tail, banging wheels. Ferreira is just waiting for one of these guys to trip up. There it is. He stole the opportunity there. Opportunistic move, got the good run. He's around the outside of Benito. He must be getting frustrated here. Benito led this race for the longest time. And then a slow pit stop has cost him dearly here. So Ferreira now up to 4th. Ferreira now back into the 4th spot. Benito down to 5th on the outside looking in. Chafradon, Miller and Pelias are still your leaders. Those are your top 3. We are watching the battle for 4th with interest here. It is Pelias or Ferreira who holds it right now. And then David Benito, who holds it. He's trying to get it back. He's working desperately hard to do it here. He's got 3 minutes to try and get that position back, and he is working so hard. Look at the body language of that car. It is aggressive as anything, but it's tense, it's nervy. Contact there on Ferreira, and Ferreira's now trapped on the barrier. And Benito is being held. Now, was that a time penalty, or was they give the position back penalty? It may have been a whole penalty, but it doesn't matter because Ferreira's now jumped on top of Suarez's car. So it is now, we think, Benito in the 4th spot. They come round. He did wait there, but Ferreira was so badly trapped on the barrier that he ended up, even though at the time he tried to give the position back, it just was not enough. So Ferreira now, I think, is behind Garcia Calderno. I think Calderno is actually a lap down, so he's actually on the comeback trail. So Ferreira now looking for 4th back, but he's got a lot of work to do. Benito in car 3. He's just heading up the tabletop. And he's now in a prime spot with 2 minutes to go to take the 4th and final transfer spot. Pelias, Miller and Chafradon in ascending order are your top 3. And they look fairly secure. So we could have a pair of double bump ups here in Chafradon and Miller, replicating the finish of their 1/16 A final, B final I should say. They move through the 1/8 final B in a very similar fashion. Benito, who was the erstwhile leader of this race for a long time, seemed to have a slow pit stop, had some issues, and is now in 4th. Pelias is not that far ahead, but I think Benito has to stick rather than twist here. With 1 minute and 10 seconds to go, he has a 7-second advantage over Nuno Ferreira, the man who held 4th for such long spells of this race. He battled many different people to get that spot, and now it looks like it's gone away from him again at a crucial moment. It might be a little bit controversial. It was a bang of wheels, Benito, but it forced Ferreira off, and now Ferreira's flipped as well, so that will just compound his misery and his disappointment. It'll compound what looks like a victory for, well, not a victory, but a transfer for Benito. Meanwhile, Pelias and Miller having a battle just ahead of them. But Benito we're focusing on right now. The last lap is occurring right now. And Benito has clear track in front of him and behind him for the final transfer spot. Matthias Chaffardon has played another great race, as has Graham Miller, to take, and are looking on for another 1-2. They did in their 1/16 B final. A really, really good run from them. And through they come to take the flag. There's the finish then. Chaffardon with the win. Graham Miller finishes second. Pelias third. And fourth, eventually, for David Benito. Oh, that was pretty intense. That was good stuff. And here is your final finishing result from the 1/8 B final. It's Matthias Chaffardon, Graham Miller, Alberto Pelaez, and David Benito that march on into the quarterfinals. Nuno Ferreira, Fari Garcia